Hello everybody, and just here, and welcome back to Saihate no Paladin. It's been a week, well, over a week because I'm recording this few hours later than usual. I had a busy day, so you'll have to forgive me. This episode coming out a little bit later. I will be also speaking more softly because it's late and I don't want to wake up anybody. I live in an apartment complex, so there's a neighbor there, there's a neighbor there, there's a neighbor there, there's a neighbor there. Everywhere there are neighbors, and I really don't want to wake up anybody. Um, how's the lighting, by the way? I got myself a new light bulb, twice the power of the old one, and from what I see, it's doing the job. Yeah. Uh, I hope this being late and me being a little bit sleepy, a little bit tired, doesn't have any impact on my reaction. I don't think it will. I've I kept saying this thing a lot of times, right? That I'm sleepy, I'm tired, and I hope it won't have any impact. And I don't think it ever does. So I think we're safe here. Right. I'm gonna get a little bit closer to the mic, just in case. And yeah, in the last episode, we again ended on a cliffhanger. I need to move the camera. Okay, now it rests steadily. Um, in the last episode, we ended up on a cliffhanger. We had Will fight Stagnate and seemingly win, but he got a little bit full of himself, you could say. Or rather, he got overconfident in that Stagnate will certainly pay him the most attention, that Stagnate will prioritize Will, and he completely discarded the possibility that Stagnate might go after his family. Sorry for that. Having long lashes is a curse, believe you me. And it seems that Stagnate really did go after Will's family. He really did go after Blood, after Mary, and after Gus, who are all in the. It's not an abbey, it's a temple, I believe they called it. Yeah, I think it's a temple. And we got a cliffhanger as Will was running towards it. But now he has the backing of the goddess Luminous, right? The goddess of light, the goddess of reincarnation, the goddess of life itself, seemingly. The goddess of change, the complete opposite of stagnate. And her power seems to be, well, powerful and vast. And she really does seem like the best ally Will could possibly ask for to fight Stagnate. I wonder how this episode will go. It is still undecided whether Will's family will survive or not. I hope they will, but you never know. Yeah, you never know what will give Will his motivation. Will it be trying to defeat Stagnate so that he never comes back for his family? Will it be trying to avenge his family? Will it be trying to free his family from the grasp of Stagnate? One of the three. I don't envision any other possibility, but this anime may prove me wrong. Who knows? So, let's not prolong it any further. Let's just start watching it. I need to get organized better. God damn it. Okay, have some subs, and I think I'm located well. I think I am. It is yet again a version by subs, please, because they are always the fastest. I think it's like straight rip from Crunchy or something. I don't know. I don't care, to be perfectly honest. Nobody told me those are some really bad subs or anything like that, and I don't think any fun subber has started subbing Saihate and a Paladin yet. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think anybody has. So, if nobody complains about the subs, I will just continue with them. If you know any better, let me know and I'll reconsider. So, again, Saihate and the Paladin, episode 5, I believe. Is it 5 or is it 6? It is episode 5. Okay. Saihate and the Paladin, episode 5 by subs, please. Starting in. Do I have the focus? I do. I don't anymore. Now I do. Starting in 3, 2, 1. Yeah, starting in medias res. Okay, we get a little bit of a flashback to what happened. Yeah, Gadus Luminous shows him the way. Stagnate isn't consumed by rage. He isn't consumed by anything. Yeah. Stagnate is cunning. He's not as simple as you think he is. Possibly. Yeah. Uh, right. If Will gets Goddess Luminous to return them all to the cycle of reincarnation, uh, Stagnate won't have any power over them. And he's already here. Gas is shackled. Blood is protecting Mary. And they're gone. Right? Well, you're not using the power of the goddess now, so. Or maybe you are. Matter? I think it's matter, isn't it? It is. It has to be. Judging by Mary's reaction. Matter is a benevolent goddess. She's all loving. And that's why she was given forgiveness. Yeah, you'd think that if a god was angry with you, she wouldn't give you her blessing. Graceful, not luminous. Why did I call her luminous? Oh, it's because of the manga I'm reading. I'm gonna talk about it at the end of the episode. Maybe don't announce your attack. Working together. Okay. Nice. Very nice. One would think that a god's curse would actually carry some weight with it. Like a paladin. Should have said that you're also gonna be reborn, just to rub it in even more. No other echo? No other echo. Yep. There are some of the parts greater than that sum. Can't stagnate like create another echo right away though? One would think that a god would be capable of doing that. Yeah. And he's your grandson. Cherry compote this time. 200 years old wine. Right. Don't try to sneak in. I'm still wary though. It's too happy. What the fuck? Did I just. Did I just. Okay, so. So they can't remain as they are, basically. They have to go one way or another, either to stagnate or to graceful. Their time is done. You should have been dead long ago, essentially. You could ask Graceful for them to be reborn in this world again. Sure. Think you might be given a chance. True. Of course. An echo of a god, but sure. It's just life. That's life. And there goes Mary. And there goes Blood. And they go back to the circle of reincarnation. So there is a chance that, even if not in this life, then in a later life you will meet them again. And there go their souls. Yep. It's better that they went with Graceful than with Stagnate. Because. Hmm. Okay, just bury them here. I thought he'd lay them in a crypt somewhere in the temple, but apparently not. And Gus is still here. I guess he's attached to existence, to life itself. A little bit of lightness in a dark moment. True. He's an investor. At least Gus is not dead. Yeah. Okay, so the time limit is 10 years. In 10 years, Stagnate will return. Hmm. Right, they've already made peace with them passing. Yeah, they've already made peace with it. If they were to wait any longer, oh, interesting. Why would that be? Preparing for the road? Yes, indeed. Backpack, cape, sword. Gus isn't even here to see him off? Oh no, he is. Okay. Will. Hmm. William Maryblood. That has a nice ring to it. William G. Maryblood. That does have a nice ring to it. In 10 years, you'll be back whether you want it or not. So you will see Gus by then. And we set off for an adventure. I guess that's the prologue. Prologue that lasted 5 episodes. Damn. Now I really hope it gets a second season. Because they have what? 7 episodes left? If the pacing continues to be the way it was through those 5 episodes, I can't see them going through a lot of the story. Farawaypaladin.com. Oh, we're getting a zinger. Okay, flashback to the past. Battle priestess. Did I start next episode or something? No. Okay, so that was their relationship after all. That's the temple. And that's essentially what happened. They did get a garden. Gus tutored him. Will. Blood taught him to fight. And Mary also educated him. William. The helmet of Will. Watashi no Boya. One last Watashi no Boya from Mary. Archer of Beastwoods. I guess in the next episode we're gonna meet our elf waifu. Okay, man, that was a lot. Hmm. I'm not sure if I like that last bit, that after credits scene. I see why it was there, right? Don't get me wrong, but I'm not sure if I'm a fan. It hmm, kind of broke the flow a little bit for me because we got some closure, right? Will set off on his adventure. We got the ED, and we're suddenly getting a flashback to back when Vlad and Mary decided on the name for their future child. Huh. Oh well, I guess it is what it is. Uh, Goddess Laminas, Luminas, or whatever I called her. Um, let me let me find the name of the manga where I saw that name because I also want to recommend you this manga because it's amazing. I thought I found it by a complete accident. I was browsing manga here and it just popped up for I don't know, just caught my eye somehow. Um, Ko Chugun Shikan Boken Shani Aru. The Galactic Navy officer becomes an adventurer. Can I perhaps put it on the screen? Will you let me do that, OBS? Yes, you will. This. This manga. This is what I want to recommend you. Uh, it's an isekai. Damn, I'm so shiny. Holy fuck. And I just took a shower. Okay, yeah, I want to recommend you this manga. Go read it. If you like isekais, you're gonna love it. If you don't like isekais, still give it a shot. It's not your everyday regular isekai. I can guarantee you at least this much. Okay, with that out of the way, and Goddess Laminas or Luminas is in this manga. That's why I got them mixed up, I guess. Okay, back to the show at hand. Saihate and Paladin, the Faraway Paladin. We got a little bit of a flashback last time on Dragon Ball Z, right? And Will charges in. Of course, there's not enough time because there never is. Stagnate has almost won, but no. We get Mater to appear. She never resented Mary at all. She was always, all this time, she was with Mary. Why would she why would she keep granting Mary her miracles, granting her the magic bread and things like that, if she resented her? Right? It makes perfect sense. And yeah, she continued to watch over her. And all that was needed is for Mary to forgive herself, not to get forgiveness from Mater, because Mater already forgave her. At the moment she committed the sin of making a pact with Stagnate. And yes, she is truly a great goddess. The Divine Torch guides souls into the cycle of death and rebirth. Since these two aren't resisting, the Divine Torch will guide them back to that cycle. Which means you have to protect them. Yeah, Stagnate doesn't want them to go back to the cycle of reincarnation. He wants to trap them. He wants to stagnate them, right? He wants the stagnation. He wants them among his minions. So if the Divine Torch of Will would turn Vlad's and Mary's soul, would give them to Goddess Graceful to join the cycle of reincarnation, Stagnate has no choice but to protect them. Makes perfect sense. And yeah, he raises the technique, but of course, they work together. Blood does some attack, I believe. Yeah, Blood attacks. Gas silences his magic. And then Will strikes the final blow. Child of Blood and Mary, disciple of Graceful. I will remember that name. Yeah, and of course, Stagnate curses Will. Which makes me wonder, will there be any actual repercussions of this curse? Right? Because I would think that an evil god cursing you would be an actual effective curse. Not just curse you, if not for you meddling kids and your dog, right? An actual curse that has an effect. There wasn't any flash, there wasn't any like I don't know black swirls get going into Will's head or anything like that. So I don't think it was an actual curse, but if so, then why? I don't know. Swear on Graceful's light, and yeah, the echo is no more. And Will's success was thanks to all of them. Thanks to Mary's teaching, thanks to Blood's teachings, thanks to Gus's teachings, thanks to Graceful, thanks to Blood's attack, thanks to Gus's attack, thanks to Mater. Right? He didn't achieve it on his own. That thing's for certain. Yeah, Matter bought him time. Now that was something I was wondering about. Uh, a god's echo perishing. Apparently, we later learned means that no new echo can be created for a decade. It takes 10 years until the god can create another echo, apparently. But back in this moment, I was still wondering, can't Stagnate just create another echo? He's a god, right? So it stands to reason that he'd be able to just keep spamming those echoes and sending them after Will, but no, apparently not. Apparently, gods are, as they usually are in Japanese mythology and Japanese media, they're not all powerful, right? They're not omnipotent, they're not omniscient. They're essentially very powerful beings, but not all powerful. It checks out. So I'm not too miffed about the echo perishing and that being the end of it. Yeah, I protected them. Let's break out some nice liquor. Don't go drinking too much. Also goes for you, blood. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And yeah, and they're collapsing. I thought it's gonna be way more, maybe not dramatic, but the way the music just stopped and you hear the clinking of bones of blood. I thought that they're just gonna collapse like this and that's gonna be it. Like, no send off, no further dialogue, no nothing. They're just dead. I honestly thought that this is how we're gonna go about it, and that it was either Stagnate's ploy, that he somehow, I don't know, marked them or whatever, that after few minutes their souls would be there, would be his, no matter what happens. Uh, or I thought that maybe their time just passed and they went off to Graceful. But no, they're still alive and kicking. Who might have vanished instantly. Yeah, but they didn't vanish instantly because Graceful has been exceedingly easy on them. That's why Gus managed to stay. He managed to strike a deal with Graceful, basically. This is the end. You understand. You gotta live and then die. Parents should always die before their children. Yeah, at this moment, around here, stay here. Yeah, at this moment, when there was this shot of Blood having his jaw gaping open, Mary being shocked at what Will is saying, I honestly thought that they are gonna stay. I honestly thought that, I know, their attachment is gonna be renewed, or Graceful will manifest herself before them and ask them, "Hey, do you want to stay?" And they're gonna say, "Yes, we want to stay. So stay as my, I don't know, my fucking uh, apostles or something, or turn this shrine, this temple, into Temple of Graceful or whatever, some bullshit that would make them actually stay. But no, apparently not. First time I felt like a dad. Humans can live just fine as long as they eat and they sleep. They still decided to die. And we later learned that it was their decision entirely. That Gus decided he wants to stay, so Graceful allowed him to stay. If Blood and Mary decided to stay, Graceful would have allowed it. Yeah, we get some last moment lessons. Do good things, be a source of joy, protect the weak. And we get to see Mary, we get to see Blood as they were when they were alive. And we still get enough time, get some drinks for a celebration. And here they lay, their souls going to Graceful, and she will take care of them. Hmm. I think I think it would be nice if it was like this in like real life. If you were to, actually be able to verify that dead people get to be reborn in some other world, in some other time. Because I like it. Uh, I honestly prefer the soul of Mary and Blood to go to Graceful rather than stagnate, like on a personal level, because it still gives hope. Stagnate solution of essentially turning everybody into an undead would also mean that Mary and Blood can stay with Will, but in a never changing state. And if their bodies were to deteriorate 5,000 years in the future, and what would they be doing for like 5,000 years, for example, right? Just a wild shot. Graceful's solution to eternal life is much more hopeful, right? Because even though there is change associated with it, because they get reincarnated somewhere else, it is a hopeful change, right? Perhaps Blood and Mary will be reincarnated as siblings. Perhaps they will be reincarnated still in the same world as completely, you know, different people, but they will still manage to get together and they will manage to live a peaceful, calm life. They'll manage to finally get their house with a garden and get some children of their own. Perhaps when Will dies, he will join them there. Right? There is still that little bit of hope that maybe not after this cycle of reincarnation, but maybe if they keep reincarnating and after 5, 10, 500, 5,000 times reincarnating, they will be together again. Right? It's hopeful. I don't know if people get to keep their memories of their past lives in this show, but hopefully, hopefully. Yeah, it's a much more hopeful death, in my opinion. Yeah, I'll be leaving you for a little while. A little bit of a light-hearted comedic moment. Money has no use. So have the money. That is true. Fine, take it. There we go. Sack of money. Stagnant money is might as well not have been here. Right? If you're not using your wealth, then it's as if you didn't have it. And yeah, and here we learn that the seal still has to be protected, and Gus volunteered for that, and that's why Graceville allowed him to stay. Because in 10 years, Stagnate regains his power and manifests again. What about Marian Blood? They didn't want that. They wanted to pass. Giving them another 10 years would make them greedy and reluctant to end it. Yeah, they've already made peace with them passing, right? That was their initial plan. Send off Will, and when he's not here, just succumb to Stagnate and do what was in your contract. So they've already made peace with the fact that they're gonna be dead soon. And they acted upon it. They saw it all through to the very end, literally and metaphorically, right? They could have stayed for another 10 years, but after those 10 years, they would no longer be ready to die. They would ask for 10 more, and 10 more, and 10 more. And how long would they be able to do that? When would the time come when Graceful would just say no more, right? And how hard would that be? How hard would it be for them to part with their life then? I think they're trying to say something along those lines here. Uh, I don't necessarily agree, to be perfectly honest with you. Um, I think that clawing at the scraps of life is more of my thing, honestly. If I were on my deathbed and I was given a choice, hey, you want to live for 5 more years? I'd be like, hell yeah. Hell yeah, I want to live 5 more years. Even if I've already made peace with my death, right? And if in 5 years I was on my deathbed again, you bet your ass that I'd be praying and begging whatever entity gave me 5 years to give me five more, to give me just one more year. You bet your ass I'd be doing that. But I guess your perspective changes after you've lived for 200 years or so, and as an undead too. I know I don't have an experience neither living 200 years nor being an undead, so what do I know? And then to remain at least until you pass on. Yeah, they knew they would want that. And yeah, in 10 years, when Stagnate is able to return, you figure out what to do with the seal. I'm going with Graceful. It's your problem now. But now we have a nice motivation for our hero. And at the beginning of recording this episode, I mentioned that there's three possible ways it's gonna end. It was neither. So let's just get it out of the way, right? Because Blood and Mary died, but not to stagnate. They just passed on of their own volition, and uh, and yet Will doesn't have a vengeance against Stagnate because Blood and Mary passed with Graceful. Instead, his motivation isn't revenge, isn't trying to free them. It's it's gonna be spending those 10 years training, getting stronger, getting better, so that he can at least deal with Stagnate in 10 years without the help of Mary, without the help of Blood, without the help of Matter, probably. That would be his small goal, like plan minimum, right? Get at least strong enough to be able to solo Stagnate's Echo, or get some allies that would help him, not solo, that would help him fight Stagnate's Echo and win. Um, And his plan optimum or plan maximum, whatever you want to call it, is to deal with the seal itself. Either grow strong enough to unseal a king of whatever and defeat him once and for all so that the seal isn't needed anymore, or to grow strong enough to reseal it, or to find some way to keep guarding it. Perhaps revitalize the city and the temple, maybe start a paladin order in the area that would keep guarding that seal. Yeah, I think that might be a little bit of my bias showing up here. I really like isekai stories where the main character builds something, right? They find an abandoned fort and keep bringing their allies there. There's now a blacksmith that he rescued somewhere in the forest. There's now a potion maker that he saved from the wolves. Stuff like that. I really like that aspect at the end of the first season of Shield Hero. That's why I recommended you this manga. The manga called The Galactic Navy Officer Becomes an Adventurer, because they also build a little bit of a place for them to stay in that world. So perhaps it's my bias showing here, because I really like this crafting and building kind of approach to isekais, and I would really like Will to also do something like that. I mean, I don't know. We'll see where it goes. I hope it goes in that direction, but I wouldn't be surprised if it didn't. If he was just on constant adventures out there in the world, getting stronger, getting better. Okay. Yeah, one of the hardships is prepared. I'm going now. And he needs a last name. Merryblood. William Merryblood. Yeah, it's a G to it. Or William G. Merryblood. Yep. So long, William G. Merryblood. I like it. There's a nice ring to it. That's the ED. And I honestly thought that we're gonna end this episode here. But no, we still have this scene of Blood defeating some demon general and having a nice little chat with Mary. I don't want to see you get hurt. I don't want to see you die. But I don't want to leave your side. Right? Seeing you die would make me sick. If I can't go with you, I'll kill myself on the spot, right? Nice little chat like you usually have for regular old couples. uh, yeah, I want to get a house with a garden on a hill with a nice view. I mean, it is on a hill. The yeah, you can see. Up, up, yeah, you can see the temple being up on a hill. So, um, nice view. Dead City can arguably be a nice view, I guess. Breeze would feel nice on your dead skin. Could start a vegetable garden. They did. There was a vegetable garden. If we ever have a kid, yeah, we can ask Gus to tutor them, which Gus did. Gus did tutor Will. Blood expressed that he wants to teach their son to fight, and he did teach Will to fight. Mary, yeah, Mary wants to teach him the little things, and he did. She did teach Will the little things, praying, preparing food, all that stuff. William, that's a fine name. Helmet of Will. That's it. And that's it. My water bottle getting in the way. Ah, I still think that the last bit at the very end after the ED is a little bit jarring, but I'm not gonna dwell on it. It's just whatever. I see what they were going for there. I see why it was included. I see its value. I don't have to agree with the execution, but I can see what they were going for there, and I can see its value. I'm repeating myself. Okay, it's late. Do forgive me. It's 13 minutes past midnight, actually. So yeah. Um, this episode didn't go as I thought it would, but I'm not mad about it. Ultimately, it's a good ending, right? Perhaps uh, bittersweet. Not perhaps, it definitely is bittersweet. It's a very bittersweet ending, right? Because Blood and Mary died. They died on their own terms, and they died a good death, right? They went with graceful to be reincarnated in another world, in another time, perhaps. So they did see a good end, but it's an end regardless, and those are always sad, right? Those are always sad. You can't really help it. But it's also a beginning for Will, because now he officially sets off on his journey to grow stronger, to grow more powerful in magic arts, in fencing, in his connection with Graceful. He will gather allies. We already got a little bit of a tease of a potential ally in the title of the next episode, and I mean she was already shown in the OP, so it's not really a surprise that our next ally is gonna be in a wood elf, seemingly. Yeah, it's a nice ending to a prologue, essentially, but it does make me wonder how are they gonna do with the remaining 7 episodes, because quite frankly I can't see the story progressing particularly far in just 7 episodes if the pacing is to continue the way it's already been. In a faster paced show, we'd be out of the prologue in like 3 episodes. The prologue would not hit as hard. That that much is certain, absolutely. And don't take it as me bashing the pacing of Saihate and Paladin. No, I think the pacing is actually good. But the fact remains that in a faster paced show, we'd be out of the prologue in 3 episodes. And then you have 9 episodes for the story. And if the pacing is just as fast, you can essentially tell 3 stories, have 3 arcs in the remaining 9 episodes, and maybe a 13th episode to wrap things up. In this case, we spent 5 episodes for the prologue, so I'm guessing 5 episodes for a story and the remaining 2 episodes to wrap things up. Kinda deal. We're gonna meet our first ally soon. Wouldn't surprise me if there were like at least 2 or 3 episodes dedicated to that. We know that Will is also gonna meet some old dude and a lolly girl. I'm assuming he's gonna. I don't think he's gonna meet them separately. I think he's gonna meet them together because they also seem kind of connected, bonded. Maybe it's father and daughter, something of the sort. At least judging by the OP. I can see that taking another 2 or 3 episodes, and we're gonna be left with one between 1 and 3 episodes for some sort of a story. I really think this season is a setup for future seasons. Either that or a tease to make people read the manga, as a lot of anime are. I don't know if we're gonna get a satisfying ending to this season. That's what I'm afraid of the most, to be honest. Because sure, mm, we can have a lot of stories about just characters, right? We can have an actual nice self-contained story of the Elven girl in the upcoming 2 or 3 episodes. Absolutely, I'm not saying we can't, but there won't be much of an overarching story, is what I'm saying. There's not much space for it. I'm hoping for season 2, honestly. I'm already hoping for season 2 because I already know that they won't be able to do much more than a setup for season 2 in this season 1. And it would be a pity if it stopped here. If it did, if there's no news about season 2 in like 3 or 4 months after this season ends, I'm just gonna start reading the manga. Honestly, that might mean that if second season comes out much later, I probably won't react to it because it would no longer be a blind reaction. But I'm invested. I'm invested, and I know that stopping myself from reading the manga after this season is done is gonna be hard. Okay, I think that's all I wanted to say. It's already been over an hour. So, yeah, we're gonna wrap things up here. Like this video if you liked it, dislike it if you disliked it, but tell me why so I can improve, as always. In the comments down below, tell me what you think. What you think of this episode, what you think of my reaction, of my opinions. What do you think of how this season will progress? Are we gonna say, are we gonna see a satisfying finale? Or is it saved for the second season, in your opinion? Just don't spoil anything, please, as always, right? Because I'm curious what you guys think. There isn't many shows that have pacing this careful. I don't want to call it slow, I'm gonna call it careful. There isn't many. And the few that are there usually have like 24 episodes per season and or have multiple seasons. In this case, so far, we only know of 12. So share your opinions down in the comments and tell me what you think of this soft-spoken narration, because maybe you prefer it to my usual voice. If so, I can make an effort to continue using it. Subscribe also down below if you want to be notified of any future episodes of this show and other shows that I'm currently watching. That's Princess Principal, Tact of Destiny, and what's the fourth one? Princess Principal, Tact of Destiny, Saihate no Paladin, and Tsukito Laketo no Sferatu. I'm currently watching all of them. You're gonna see some cards in the corner that will lead you to the respective playlists. If you really like what I'm doing, you can support me on Patreon. Link is down below. For $1 a month, you can get access to my Discord server. $10 gives you early access to non-seasonal shows like Princess Principal. And yeah, that's gonna be it from me for today. So as always, do all the good stuff. And I'm gonna see you guys in the next one. Cheers.